Cardio is not the answer to fat loss. It's not like this magic pill. I could be doing half a marathon a day every day and still put on weight if I'm still eating in a surplus. What's up guys, welcome back to another vlog. I'm here today with Jake. We're gonna run you through our full day today. We're gonna be getting a training session in with Reese Livingston. We've got a bunch of PT clients, a couple of mindset meetings, a bunch of different stuff today, just the usual day. We're gonna take you guys with us. Also, we're gonna be answering 5 of the most commonly asked health and fitness questions, so stick around for that. Thanks so much for being here guys. If you wanna see more of this type of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below with what you wanna see more of. Let's get stuck into the day. All right, so about to get a training session in with my friend Reese at Limestone Gym. Before we get in there, we got 2 scoops of Unify pre-workout lemon orange. We've got a couple new flavors coming up really soon, but I always go the double scoop. You can go with 1, but I mean, come on. Hey man, good, how are you? What do you want to do? Do you want to do something like, do you want to just do some arms?
Yeah, I'm so good.
Cool. And so are you basically completely out of the coaching business, as in like for fitness coaching?
Completely. We've got a COO now, CFO, CTO,
Okay.
and a general manager.
Sick. What split are you doing at the moment? Or like what are you doing with training?
Just training 3 days a week, train what I feel like on the day.
Yeah.
3 days of weights, 2 days of like circuit work, and boxing once a week.
Talk to me about this event.
November 9th, 100 tickets we've already done. I just did a soft launch on Close Friends, running through branding and social media. Yep. And then we'll do on the back end together hang on bro. We'll do a content creation, like cheat sheet kind of deal. Okay. Teach everyone how to create more content at scale. How's the podcast going?
Podcast's good, man. Dude, the solo episodes always do way better than the guest episodes because it's obviously a very specific topic usually.
Yeah, generally shorter as well, right?
Yeah. All right guys, just wrapped up a sesh here with Reese. I want to introduce you guys to the great man, and he can tell you a bit about this facility and what he's been doing. And for any coaches or people in the service-based industry watching at the moment, keep an eye. I might actually put a link to Reese's event that he's got coming up soon. Unify are actually going to be sponsoring the event, or one of the sponsors of the event. But tell everyone about this space.
What's up? So this is my space. It's private. No one can come use it. Clients can't come. It's only for friends. It's only for staff. And it was, I guess, born of me wanting to be in a place where I could film more content, create more connection with people like yourself, and do what I do and help businesses grow. So it's been fun.
Man, appreciate it, brother. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So guys, quick little life update. At the moment, I'm in a calorie deficit. So it's about week 5 of this deficit at the moment. Lifting 4 to 5 times a week, doing 1 conditioning session, purely just for aerobic health, to be honest, and just a bit of extra energy output so I can keep my calorie intake higher. So on average, 2,700 calories per day, protein minimum of 200 grams. Really just want to spend a bit of time in a deficit, get nice and lean for summer. It's also quite good for marketing for business as well. Unify, there's a lot going on with Unify at the moment. We're just starting to sign our first wholesale clients with gyms, some hotels, and potentially an airline, which is really, really exciting. If you're panning in the back, Jake, we've got a bunch of new stock we're launching in the next couple of weeks. So by the time this is out, it may even be live. We've got a choc honeycomb flavor of the whey protein isolate and a watermelon flavor of the hydrate. So Unify is going really well, just being really consistent. I think that's super important, is you got to carry momentum. When you get momentum, run with it. And that's the importance of your daily non-negotiables and embodying the person that you want to be or who you would need to be in order to have the outcome that you want, because your reality is not going to look any different at the start. And this is a conversation I have with my clients. So a concept I've been talking about with my clients a lot lately is when you're deciding what you want, it should be something that feels almost unattainable at the moment. If it's something within reach, it's just a goal. And this is what people tend to do, is they sell themselves short at what they're capable of to avoid disappointment, embarrassment, and shame of going after something big and then falling short. However, when you have this North Star of the perfect idea of what you want your life to look like or what that outcome looks like, the next step is to embody the version of yourself that already has it. If it fell in your lap tomorrow, how would you have to be, or who would you have to be in order to maintain it? And that's exactly what I'm in at the moment. And at the beginning, reality is not going to look any different. And that's where most people just go back to old habits, old ways, and respond to what's directly in front of them. But this is where you have to stay in the frequency of who you want to be. All right, and embody all the habits, the language, the self-belief, the environment, all of these things that you would need to do and who you would need to be in order to have that outcome. And in time, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Things start working their way to you. And more importantly, you're not waiting for anything. You're not waiting to achieve whatever it is that you want in order to feel good about yourself. When you feel good beforehand, then everything works its way to you. Because if you truly think about it, every single thing on this planet all started with a thought attached to an emotion. It wasn't the opposite way around. There wasn't like the physical thing and then there's like, oh, this would be nice and this is the emotion that's attached to it. It all starts with an intention, an emotion attached to it, and you stay in that frequency and all of a sudden the outcome works its way to you. And so that's that phase that we're in at the moment. And if you can embody that, I might even link the podcast I did on this recently. If you can embody that piece that I just spoke about right now, then as I said, it's not a matter of if you're going to attract whatever it is that you want. It's a matter of when. All right, so our first exercise, or Danielle's first exercise of today's session, and pretty much every upper body session we do, is pull-ups. What you really want to think about is pulling your elbows down towards your ribs. So most people think about pulling themselves to the bar, but what we're trying to do is pull the elbows down towards the ribs or towards the hips, which is going to engage your lats. So you're thinking of your hands as a hook, and we want to work through full range on each rep. You don't want to get in the habit of doing half reps and then gradually building them up, because that's all you'll ever be doing. It's just half range reps. So perfect. I'm gonna get you to go back into another set straight away. So with pull-ups is definitely one of the hardest exercises in the gym to do, in my opinion. And a lot of people would love to do them body weight, but they kind of just give up on it before they've even started because it's too hard. Now, the quickest way to improve your pull-ups is to do them more often and to do them properly right from the start. And so Danielle's doing them about 3 times a week. She never used to be able to do bodyweight pull-ups at all. Like, we were using multiple bands when she first started, and now she can do sets of 5 to 10 bodyweight pretty comfortably because we've been doing them often. So even on days where we're not training upper body, I'll get Danielle to do a couple of sets of pull-ups at the beginning. And what you want to do with your sets and reps is you never want to fail until you get to the last set. So you want to work from between, say, 1 to 8 reps, and you're going to pick a rep range that you can hit for all 3 working sets, or 3 or 4, however many working sets you do. Once you can comfortably do that, add 1 rep. So you might go from sets of 3 to then sets of 4 until that's comfortable, and then just rinse and repeat until you get up to 8, and then make it more difficult, either with less assistance from a band or assisted machine, or once you can do them body weight, then you can start adding load as well. But if you're working through full range of movement and you're doing them often, then you'll get good at them quite quickly. You just want to make sure that you're not coming in once a week, failing on the first set, having a crack on the second, and then you're just going to stay the same. So the more often you're doing them, the quicker you're going to get better at pull-ups. All right, so second exercise, press. So what I'm getting Danielle to think about on this is that we want to actually use our legs. So come up on your toes, yep, and push your upper back into the bench. And the elbows are coming in at a slight angle, so 45 degrees. But the stronger you can be through your foundation and pinning your shoulder blades into the bench, then the easier it will be to press.
Because oh, cheers, bro. About 4 weeks now, and went to Europe first 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was just so good the whole time, and then
And then you come back.
then getting back, and it's just like post-holiday depression. It's like
Yeah.
fuck. It's like, what now?
Have you had much to do with dice?
Nah.
I'll link you guys up to just sit down and have a chat. I mean,
chat.
even other even stuff outside of sport. You know, like as I said, I'll try and tap into my network, but same with you. Like, look at let me go and sit down with the fucking CEO of a big company and
just see how
talk
they
to him about leadership.
Yeah. I know what I need to do to improve in footy and my physical and all that sort of stuff.
So let's work on it over this year, for sure. Be good. What do you? I'm away next week. All right, so we've got 5 questions here that you guys have sent through. We're going to answer them on this vlog. And from now on, if you guys leave a question below, we will answer your question on the vlog. We'll pick a few each episode and we'll list who has sent it. So to get featured on the show, on the vlog, just comment below and we'll pick the best one. So first question is, what should I do once I've finished my calorie deficit? So once you've been in a deficit for an extended period of time, you need to gradually rebuild your intake to allow your metabolism time to catch up. We don't want to go too slow. So let's say you finish at 2,000 calories at the end of your deficit. In order to not just gain a heap of fat as you go back up in food, you want to just do it gradually. So you might go back up to say 22.5 or 2,300 calories for the first week or two, and then bump it up again to around your maintenance intake, and then from there you slowly build it up. And so this way you can stay lean, start eating more food because you're still going to be expending probably more energy, and initially you'll still be in a deficit. And most importantly, you're not going to put on unwanted fat after being in the deficit. Question 2 is, how often should I do cardio? So cardio is not the answer to fat loss. It's not like this magic pill. I could be doing half a marathon a day every day and still put on weight if I'm still eating in a surplus. So cardio should be used as a tool to increase your energy output once you no longer want to go lower with your calorie intake during fat loss. So I might be doing 5 strength sessions a week and my calories might be down to say 2,500, and I don't want to go any lower in food and I don't want to add any more strength training. So I would add in a cardio session to increase my energy output to reignite the fat loss again. How much protein do I need per day? This is a very simple one. You need at least 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight per day. So if you're 80 kilos, you need 160 grams as a minimum. Anything above that is fine. 100 kilos, 200 grams protein, 60 kilos, 120 grams protein, you get the point. So anything above that point is completely fine. So you can go above that, that's fine. But we want to make sure that's our minimum. When I'm in a calorie deficit trying to lose fat and retain muscle mass and strength, I typically go a little bit higher than 2 grams per kilo. I don't have to, but I do because your body is more likely to, I guess, eat into muscle mass the leaner you get. So to avoid that, I bump my intake up. When I'm in a calorie surplus, I still hit my 2 grams minimum, but it's not as important because you have a surplus of food. So you're not going to lose muscle when you're in a surplus of food if you're training properly. So running, training, whatever you're doing, doesn't matter. How does calorie cycling work? Okay, really good question. I'm going to give a very simple but effective answer. We want to look at our calorie intake across the span of a week, not one day. If my calorie intake for the day is 2,000, all right, we'll make it simple. I always do very simple maths on these examples. 2,000 per day is 14,000 calories per week. So 2,000 times 7, 14,000. How I get to that 14,000 is irrelevant. So I can get to that 14,000 however I want. And so one of the most effective ways of eating in a calorie deficit, which is what I use for every single one of my fat loss clients pretty much, is I will take a certain amount of calories away from 6 days per week and add them all back onto the 7th. Now, that 7th day can be whenever you want. Okay, so you can choose what day you want to use it on. Most people use it on like a weekend or their hardest training day. And so 2,000 might come down to 1,900. Okay, so now 6 days and 1,900. So we've taken 600 away. On the 7th day, our starting point was 2,000, but we've taken 600 away. We're going to add them all back into the 7th. So now you've got 1 day eating 2,600 calories and 6 days at 1,900. So a vast difference between the high day and the low days, but your total's the same. So you can see how socially, mentally, even physically, there's such a benefit to having a high calorie day, and it's so much easier to stick to long term. So it's very simple, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You can kind of distribute those calories however you like. They could be different every single day if you really wanted to. I find it most effective to keep it pretty consistent with one high calorie day. Last question here is, how often should I train my abs? Abs are just like any other muscle group. They can handle a lot more volume and load, similar to other small muscle groups like your calves, but they're no different to, say, your chest, lats, quads, glutes, whatever. So you probably wouldn't train your chest 7 days a week, right? So I see people doing abs every single day. You don't need to do that. The way we want to train our abs is the same as how we would train any other muscle group if we were trying to build muscle tissue. So 2 to 3 times per week is probably the sweet spot of direct ab work, keeping in mind that we also use our abs for practically everything. If you weren't using your abs, you just fucking fold in half. If I build my abdominal muscles, just like if I build my chest, then I will be able to see my abs at a higher body fat percentage. And more importantly, when I go down in body fat, they'll look better. because there's more actual muscle tissue, more muscle mass. But remember, you cannot out-train a bad diet, and you can't spot reduce fat. So doing endless crunches is not going to give you visible abs. You need your body fat percentage to be low enough to see the abs, which happens through a calorie deficit. Hope you guys enjoyed the answers to those. All right guys, that's going to conclude the vlog. The rest of the day we've just got mentoring calls on Zoom, so won't bore you guys with that in this video. But I wanted to give a quick shout out to H, the label. Dice and his little man H have just brought out a new clothing range. All the proceeds go into a very, very worthy cause, and the quality of these of the clothes. Like obviously got the hoodie on at the moment. We've got some socks, they got shorts, trackies, t-shirts. Very good quality stuff, and again, all the proceeds go into a very, very worthy cause. But I wanted to also mention our new infrared sauna. So we got a Solus sauna installed not too long ago. We got a 2-seater one at home, which Danielle and I have been doing pretty much every night before bed for 30 to 45 minutes. I've been doing some meditation in there, learning in there, listening to audiobooks and stuff. It's been a really cool inclusion. So if you're in the market for infrared, I would highly recommend Solus saunas. The inside of this bad boy is very cool as well. You can change all the lighting and connect up your phone to the speakers and stuff. But we've been finishing our day with this most days, and I prefer this a lot more than a regular sauna. But again, that's going to wrap up the vlog. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. Leave a thumbs up and comment below with what you want to see in these videos moving forward. And really appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.